slipping them away.
It is the dawn of day 4 of your trip. You've had a full night's rest. Some of you are still sleeping off some injuries.
I will have healed her before she retires for the night.
Okay.
So I just make a first aid check, I think.
Yep.
Then I got it. So
Okay.
you heal for 10.
Okay, that'll get me to full.
You know, being attacked by lions yesterday
Can
really
I-
got me thinking.
Can I do that on myself?
Yes.
Okay. Well, probably should have done that, but whatever.
I don't know any of you guys. so I was thinking like it'd be nice. Well, you almost died, Doc. I don't know how you're holding up, but
I'm alive.
we
I mean,
don't-
I've never felt more alive. When I was growing up, you know, I was a big fan of the pulps, and my favorite pulp was adventure, because I like adventure. And then I got drafted into the war, and combat's not as great as it seems in the stories. It's pretty brutal. It's pretty messed up, and I got a nasty dose of reality while in the war. But I'm taking this as an opportunity to maybe to find real adventure that isn't so dark and grim and, you know, warlike. Oh God, my injuries.
well, I mean, you guys already probably know who I am since my dad's pretty famous, but
Who's your dad?
I don't know his first name because it's not
Charles Desmond.
Charles Desmond, my father, my
That
loving.
sounds vaguely familiar.
Charles Desmond was the person whose funeral service they were having right before they brought up this expedition.
So yeah, well, so half the reason I'm out here is, you know, because living in the shadow of my dad.
Mm.
But
My parents died too.
oh, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at least I'm not alone, or as alone as I thought I was.
You're not the only orphan.
Oh, you're an orphan too?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Whoa, we all orphans.
My parents died in an hour. No.
So yeah, I just mostly I got to live up to him, but I mean this is kind of embarrassing, but I might have other reasons to come out here as well. And at the very least, if I don't find the answers I'm looking for, maybe one of you guys can find it. But like, it's not in the news, and they probably definitely didn't bring it up at the surface. But the reason my dad kind of left me was he kind of went nuts looking for something out here, which is what I'm also looking for. Because after my mom passed, he started thinking he could contact her, like her ghost or whatever, her soul.
I don't believe in that kind of.
You don't believe in that?
No.
That's interesting.
I'm a man of faith. I don't believe in dealing with the devil.
Yeah, so he kind of went nuts, and at the very least, I think the best thing I can do for him is to try and maybe finish what he started. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous, but I mean, why not? Why not go see?
Well, I hope you find the answers you're looking for.
I kind of don't want to actually.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if I really want to find the answers, but I'm going to try to find them. I feel like I don't want to tamper and I don't want to go too deep, but
No.
you know,
Once you get a taste of evil, there's very rarely that you can come back from it.
well, yeah, my dad went nuts, so
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, so that's my story. I at least want to get that off my chest before, because I mean, two of us almost died, so I want to get that out there.
Right.
That's fine. My dad died when I was young during the Great War, and my mom recently passed away. So I understand where you're coming from. I was former military there for a while. And fortunately, when I joined, the war was over, thankfully, from what I'm being told. But now I just do this to, pay bills and help out people. I'm here to help. That's about it. If there's anything that you need with your quest, minus, talking to Satan, I'm pretty much going to be your guy.
Well, that was our story.
Well, you may find more than you bargained for.
Can you explain to me why we're paying the guards triple? Or the guides?
Because it's worth it.
Because the area...
What do you mean worth it?
Because where you intend to go is not a place where we feel comfortable going. It is very bad. There are many legends about some things that happen there. People go missing. Animals stay away from it. It is not safe.
Do you know anything about, like, what I just talked about this whole speaking to the dead thing?
There are shamans in some of the tribes which you could speak to about that, but I do not know of those things.
It's probably for the best, you know?
Well, I mean, minus the lion attack, which, you know, thank God we survived that. What are you talking about, like, a dangerous place?
It is mostly legends and folklore, but if it is a place that animals will avoid, it is normally because it is a source of danger.
So they're afraid of it. And you've been here before?
Yes.
And would you like to explain?
Well, it's complicated. But I feel that you deserve to know. I was a biologist, and we were tracking some of the great apes, the gorillas, seeing them in their normal habitat, just to observe them, to study them, and they were magnificent creatures. They really were. So much like us in so many ways, and yet
You subscribe to that theory.
and yet so different. Just observations. They have social. Anyway, storm came and they began to leave, and we had to try to catch them before we would lose them again. And that was when we came across the clearing. It was almost like the forest canopy was undisturbed. It was almost like this place was meant to be concealed, and the in the middle of a clearing, completely flat, was the ruins. I don't know who built it. I'm not an archaeologist or one who's knowledgeable about ancient cultures that live in this area, but I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, I've been to a few ruins.
It's just they resembled a pyramid, but it was different. The apes were not going through the clearing; they were going around it. If we had followed them, we would have lost them. So, quickest way is we went into the clearing. And that's where things get muddied.
Muddied.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
I saw something. I can't really articulate. Just it was something that wasn't an animal and it wasn't a man. It was conical shaped. It was tall. And it had several appendages. It's of no shape that could really bring into a picture in your mind. Just there's something so different about it. And then this is where my memory really ends, because I apparently suffered amnesia. During that time, I woke in a hospital for the mentally damaged and discovered that I had lost 3 years of my life. My wife had filed for divorce that I had apparently signed off on, taking my child with her. I lost my position and it alienated most of my colleagues. That's why I came looking to find an expedition to find this place again, so I could find out what happened. I don't know how much of what I saw was real or things I have remembered differently, but I know what happened to me was something that was not within normal experience.
Well, I'm more of a doctor of the body and not of the mind, but some of my brothers in arms went through some terrible things in the war, and I helped some of them get through it. So if you'd like to spend some time trying to recover some of those lost memories, and I'm not going to be moving around a lot, we can try to unlock some of them if that's what you'd like to do.
I've talked to lots of doctors, but if you actually believe that something may have happened, then maybe we can. One final thing, and I bring this up now while there's still time to turn back. I have nothing left to lose, so I'm going forward regardless. But one of my fellows on the journey died in a mysterious way. As we were heading towards the ruins, there was a bright light. I turned around to see where he was, where his progress was, and then this bright light came from behind us, and then he was gone. I don't know what happened to him. I don't even know if he's still alive. But in an instant, he was gone, save for a patch of blackened earth. So there is unknown things and real danger that awaits us. I'm sorry that I have...
Blackened like it was burned?
Yes, but there was no flame or no heat, just the light. When I turned around, that is when I saw the being.
And then everything else is
Then everything
gone.
else is just gone.
Well,
I'm sorry if I've misled
Thoughts and
you.
prayers.
oh,
I'm sorry if I've misled you.
well, we're definitely going to need prayers. I definitely.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us.
From his description of that creature, do I think I've seen anything similar?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
Can you roll Cthulhu methods?
Yes, I can.
And it begins.
Oh no.
It does not sound like anything you've seen or heard of.
What about you? You're the archaeologist. You've seen some weird stuff, right?
I've seen things that are not readily explained, but I don't normally deal with creatures of a biological nature. I deal with what's left behind when a civilization disappears or moves on.
All right.
But as far as I can tell, I've never seen any type of artwork or pottery that would match anything that he's described.
Well, I definitely think that we should decide if we want to continue forward. For the women's sake, perhaps maybe they should move back.
Maybe we should speak for ourselves, sir.
Well, if you want to.
I am not afraid.
So I have nothing left to lose, so I'll be going ahead regardless.
I cannot willingly put people, can't stand by and watch people put their lives in danger, so I will continue on. God hates a coward.
Maybe my dad wasn't so crazy. Or maybe you're crazier than him. Either way, I'm kind of curious.
Is it wrong in a way? I hope that's the case.
Doc?
I mean, you probably had a head injury or something.
I'm here for the adventure, and this sounds more adventurous than anything I've been on that isn't actual hell in those trenches. So
Then I guess it's decided.
All right, then. We'll continue on. I'll cook up breakfast, say prayers. I'm going to go to the Bible,
Okay.
the source of all knowledge, and see if there's anything remotely like this. I'll go straight to Revelations.
Well, I mean, the Bible definitely references things being smote down by God or his chosen angels with beams of light. It doesn't necessarily reference specifically conical shaped beings, but it does, of course, mention angels as having an otherworldly appearance. So
This might not
it's
be a bad
possible
thing.
he may have had a encounter with an angel of some sort. It is difficult to say.
Okay. This might actually be a positive. Anything else? If not, we should probably head. We got another day.
Continue on.
And with that, you will pack up your things, beginning your 4th day of journeying. The day will take you relatively early on. You will run into the river. From there, you begin following the river north. You are getting close to the area on your map where they had marked that there were dangerous animals in the river. So how close you want to follow by the river
We should
is-
keep some distance, like what, like crocodiles or.
Hippos.
more than likely, it's either crocodiles or hippos. Either one of those are things that you do not want to run into in your current
Yes.
situation.
Let's keep a fair amount of distance from the riverbank.
It's a little bit farther than you had traveled previously, but it's still close enough to see what's going on. I see your character sheet 1 second then. Just need to look for appropriate skill.
So how crazy did your dad get near the end? Because mine got pretty nuts. My mom did.
Well, he's dead,
Right.
so probably pretty crazy.
Or do you say anything else about contacting the dead?
No, he got weird and quiet actually for a while. So he just got
Was your
really
father in the
solo.
war?
No, he was an explorer. Like I don't know, he
Um,
found something,
one of
or
your
he didn't find
guides
something. I have no idea.
will call for everybody to stop. I believe that there are crocodiles up ahead. We may wish to travel a little bit further away from the river. I have seen signs that lead me to believe that they have some nests around, and this is their nesting season.
They'll be super vicious, trying to protect her young.
Yes, very much so.
We should take every precaution.
Yeah.
Okay. You swing out around, which will add about half a day onto your travel time, but you managed to swing well around the area that was marked as being dangerous. The 4th day will end with you rejoining the river about 2 miles upstream. I'm assuming you're going to be setting watches and putting out torches. Okay.
I'm gonna
Every night.
heal myself again. Or
Okay.
heal myself for the first time. I got it by 3.
Okay.
And I'll heal me in full.
All right.
It's been a full day.
I'll take
Yeah,
first
it's-
watch. You want to take the midnight watch?
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna sleep that well tonight.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I'll set traps again. I am also going to talk to Chris's character a little bit privately.
I'll
Well, I'm
probably
gonna do
be
something
in my
not
tent.
weird, and I'm gonna offer to psychoanalyze you if you're willing to try to unlock something.
Oh, I'll talk to you.
All right, can I roll psychoanalysis on him?
You can.
I got it by 11.
It's much the same as the other doctors that you've talked to previously while you were in the hospital, after you regained your memory at the very least. A lot of similar questions may be asked in a different fashion, given what you've explained to him, which you didn't tell the doctors while you were there. But there's not really anything that's clicking as things that you've remembered that you don't recall remembering previously.
Am I able to like diagnose him at all? Like, is it PTSD or is it like being shell shocked or something?
Well,
It is
shell-shock.
not PTSD because there's not anything that's triggering that kind of a reaction from him.
Okay.
Most PTSD cases, even people who've resolved it, there are still certain triggers that will cause
Right.
various physical effects, trembling or something else. But he's not exhibiting any of those symptoms. He's relatively calm while he's talking to you.
Okay. So yeah. So there's no risk of like unlocking something that may make him go crazy. It seems so far.
It doesn't. It does not seem so. No.
Okay.
It's unfortunate none of us know hypnosis. I've heard that can help with memory loss.
I am a man of science, and like I said, I'm not particularly well versed in science of the mind, so I don't know how credible that would be, but I didn't bring it. I mean, I got a pocket watch, but I don't know how to use it as far as hypnosis goes.
Yeah, don't look at me.
Would I know anything about helping unlock memories related to that kind of stuff?
No, you would not.
Okay.
No,
I'll
we'd
just
be-
diss
What's
at
all
him.
that?
What's that
I
about?
don't know what that means.
Is that magic?
What
I
magic?
don't know.
Magic does not exist.
It's not real. It's
Faith is real, though. Faith can do great things. I'll talk
Faith
to
is a wonderful thing for humanity. Whether it does anything has yet to be proven.
Oh, I find that faith is very powerful in times of need. That's why I wanted to talk to you. Pretty good with a shotgun. Really good with a shotgun.
I'm an archaeologist, and I have been in areas like this before, and it's not just animals that will come after you.
Understood. That's why, if this goes wrong, which is a very good possibility, I would like you to take her out of here quickly.
If that is what is needed.
Take the kid, too.
Do you honestly think he's going to follow me?
I'm now more terrified than ever that he is down a path that is very self-destructive. Doc's in this basically for fortune and glory. He has some issues.
That's an understatement.
I think between the two of us, and I'm not really sure why she's funding this trip.
Everyone has their own reasons. I tend to not question where the money comes from. Especially when jobs for someone like me are not easily brought upon.
I understand that. However, I am always questioning where the money comes from.
Somehow that does not shock me.
No, it shouldn't. I want you to get as many people out of here as you can, because I'm not going to leave these people behind.
Very well, but if I find something here, I'm taking it with me.
It belongs in a museum.
It might get me the job at the museum.
That's your call, but I'm not in this for the money.
Neither am I. I just want respect.
You have mine.
Well, thank you.
all right. Unless anybody else is doing anything more, you can begin taking your watches, and everybody else can get some sleep.
All right.
What do I have?
And reading.
I'm reading.
And reading.
As a matter of fact, yes. You're back in the clearing where you were. The guide is still with you. As you enter the clearing, you see another image of yourself continue to walk forward the same as you remember, almost like you're viewing this from a third person's perspective. You're noticing something that you didn't recall at the time. Carried on the wind, you hear the sound of chanting coming from inside the pyramid. It shouldn't be possible for you to hear at this range, but somehow you're noticing that that was there. And when you think on it, you remember that being there at the time. It was just not as important as the other events that went on. It's some language you've never heard of. It has words that are strange to even hear coming out of the mouth of another being, let alone another human, if that's in fact what they are. Almost guttural sounds. And then that same flash of light happens, and you will wake up. Do me a favor and roll a d10.
Six.
Okay. So, for the next day, any skill rolls that you need to make, you can make with a plus 10 bonus. Okay?
All right, thank you.
The rest of the night for everybody else goes completely uneventfully.
In the morning, I want to check on the injured pack mule
Okay.
to see how it's faring.
It is doing well enough. It will simply just need time at this point
Okay.
to...
I'll just,
deal
if
with
it
its wounds.
needs, I'll change the gauze or whatever.
Okay. Yes, that will need to be changed
Okay.
at this point.
Do I need to roll first aid for that at all, or I'm just
No,
wrapping?
that's
Okay.
that's simple enough at this point.
Okay.
The actual medical attention has been given. It's just changing the bandages so it doesn't fester.
I'll check the trap, see if we caught any more breakfast.
No, this time you have not caught anything.
Okay, I'll go back.
Okay.
Pray beforehand.
And you set out for the 5th day.
Yep.
You journey up the river for several hours. You take your break at noon to eat a quick meal. And it is at this point that you ended up leaving the river to track down those gorillas. You know that they ran west from here. Give me a navigation roll.
So I'll just have my plus 10 then.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. Luckily, your guide knows exactly where the clearing is. So you start heading off in a more northerly direction, and your guide will stop you and be like, it is more this way. It is more to the west than it is north. So he directs you back. You continue on that way for about 3 hours at a walking pace. It is at that point that you come to an open clearing. As he described it, the canopy of the trees still covers everything, but it's like all of the vegetation has just been completely removed from the ground up until you get to the upper canopy of the trees. You can still see sunlight breaking through, but there is no way to see this thing had you been flying above it. It is roughly about 100 yards in diameter. Sitting in the middle of it is a squat pyramid. Can you give me an idea roll?
What's that exactly?
It's up here, I think.
Mhm.
Top one right there.
Oh, okay. 80. I
80.
failed.
You failed. You're not quite sure where you've seen these before, but it looks similar to other pyramids you might have seen. It is definitely not an Egyptian-style pyramid, but it does appear to be a pyramid shape. Roughly about 100 feet across at the base, 50 feet tall. There are stone stairs that lead up to an entranceway, roughly about 30 feet up the pyramid. The small building that sits atop it, where the entranceway resides, looks like it might be roughly 30 feet across.
Is this the same pyramid? Is this the same pyramid?
That's it.
May I use my educated guess to figure
My
out
God.
who may have built the city?
Yes. That would be an anthropology roll.
I was going to use my ability. It says once per day ask a question for information.
Yes. This is actually very similar to a lot of South American pyramids. The design and the way it was constructed is consistent with a lot of South American pyramids, the ziggurat
Okay.
style. Not very common in this area of the world. It's almost
Usually you'd hear about the pyramids of Egypt. And
correct, and those same styles of pyramids are what you would normally find in this area, and certainly nothing at this size located this deep in the jungle.
Okay.
It is certainly out of place at the very least.
So this is
Yes.
pretty big.
Yes.
Okay.
It almost doesn't make sense for it to be here.
But it lines up with his story.
It does.
And if
That's
he's not
notwithstanding.
Hmm.
But archaeologically, this should not be here
Why not?
because these are the kind of pyramids you find in South America, not in Africa.
And yet still,
And I've been to some of those.
looming above you, sitting in the middle of the clearing, is this pyramid, which shouldn't be there. And it's up to you to find out what secrets it may hold.